What's up, everybody? Welcome to the DC Gaming Group Podcast, episode 15. My name is Not Cirque, aka Creston. I'm also joined by Justin, the real pipe gamer. What's going on, man?
Hey man, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a interesting week. The wife is on vacation, and I'm home, cat sitting. You see the cat in the back
Yeah.
living her best life. But no, everything is good, man. It's just got some good gaming sessions in this week, so yeah, can't complain at all. Um, so as usual, we always start off the podcast of what we're playing. So Justin, what are you playing these days?
Uh, one game only. I guess really two, because of Game Club, but we'll get to that. But yeah, no, Triangle Strategy, terrible name, has really been eating up
Very terrible.
all of my gaming time. If I got gaming time, it's going to Triangle Strategy. Uh, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. For those who don't know, it's the current tactical RPG released by Square Enix. I know there's a smaller developer, but I'm not entirely sure who they are. But it's in that HD 2D style, which is great. Actually, funny thing about the HD 2D style, I think just yesterday or the day before, I had realized that I've put how many hours I put into it and did not ever had it docked. So I was like, let me see what this looks like
Hmm.
docked. So I put it in, and it is like the characters, the sprites are hideous. They're so ugly. Like they're all
Uh,
blown up on the big screen, like I don't. It was it was so terrible. But the backgrounds and like the whole game, like it kind of looks like everything takes place like a little diorama,
yeah.
like um like all the details there that weren't the characters were gorgeous, and I was just like, wow, this is beautiful. So I'm like, the characters are bad when they're all blown up, but like the backgrounds are beautiful. But if I undock it, the characters look great, and then like the backgrounds lose so much detail. So I don't know. I'm going back and forth, but it's a fun game. Some of the I'm playing with English, playing in English, even though you have the option to play with Japanese with subtitles. I have not found a way to switch back and forth, and I think I might have messed up maybe because some of the voice acting is horrible, like laughable.
Mm,
Like I have laughed out loud. Like some of the voice acting seems like they were like, "Shit, we got this line, but no one showed up. We didn't hire anybody to read it. You there? What are you doing? I'm the janitor. I'm cleaning up these papers
get
from
in
out of
that
this
booth.
trash can. They get in that booth right now. Here's your headset. Read these lines and." And they were like, they read it like, was that good? Like, yeah, we'll go with that. Keep going. And
Yeah,
they
I
just like one take of everything. It's so bad sometimes.
yeah, I could definitely see that because I mean, this game has a lot of dialogue, right?
There's so much dialogue. It is.
Yeah, I could see
It
them
feels
cutting
like I'm playing
corners.
through a season of like Game of Thrones. Like,
Oh
there's a
wow.
lot of talking. There's a lot of political intrigue. There's a lot of like twists and turns. There's a lot of betrayals. Um, and like it's cool because like in battle, there's no permadeath. Like it's not like Fire Emblem where like the character dies, they're dead, they're gone, they're not coming back. Like in battle, so it doesn't have that, which is nice because the game is hard. Even though I have not lost yet, I'm proud of that. But like the game is hard. Uh, but so I was like, I was thinking in my head, like like death in battle is not that big of a thing because like people don't really die.
Mm-hmm.
Recently in the story, like all hell's broken loose. I'm not gonna spoil anything. People, of course, should play the game if they're at all interested. But if you played even the demo that they released, which is the first three chapters of the game, I'm currently on chapter 8, so you can see like, how far along I am. Um, I'm currently in chapter 8, chapter 3. At the end of the first three chapters, you can kind of tell like, oh, something's gonna happen. I don't know when, I don't know how, but like everyone's kind of sitting on the powder keg, and someone's like waiting to see who's going to strike the match.
Mm.
Well, I am past the point where someone struck the match, and it is just death, 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 death. In fact, I'll say this: it does not feel like I'm playing the season of Game of Thrones. It feels like I'm playing multiple seasons of Game of Thrones because I just saw or just played through the. Oh, did you watch Game of Thrones?
I didn't finish the whole series. I got up to, I want to say like season 3. Because how many seasons were
Yeah,
there in total?
there are 8 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Okay, yeah, I think I only got up to 3.
Eight? Oh, yeah, there are 8 seasons. But so like in Game of Thrones, like they like the second is that the season finale? It is the episode before the season finale that is insane. Like
Mm,
like if at the end of episode one someone's like to war, then at the episode nine, because it's always 10 episode seasons, episode nine is when like the big war happens.
got you.
I felt like I just played through episode nine. I'm dealing right now in episode 10, and I know that there's more game. So I feel like I'm going to do episode 10, then I'm going to start the next season of of this show of Triangle Strategy, and I'm excited to see where it goes because we're dealing with the aftermath of all the stuff that happened, and it's just like, man, this is a lot, and it's so melodramatic, it's so overwrought. The
Of
voice acting is
course.
bad, the story is fun though, and I'm having a great time. I really enjoy it. It's
That's
like
all
it's
that
like a book
matters.
that you get to play as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's what's
So
up.
I know I'm playing my one little game. You over here with your partner is she's overseas, right?
Yeah, she's
Yeah, so
down in
she's
South America or
yeah, so
Central America.
she's a whole different. Oh, Central America. Okay, I was gonna say a whole different continent. Not the case. She's as close as you can be out of the continent, but still be in North America. She's over there, so you have had all the time to game. Please tell me, what have you been playing?
Oh man. So I finally beat Resident Evil Revelations 2, which
That
was
buggy mess.
great. It wasn't as buggy. What was there did you played it before or?
No, no. You were saying, oh no, you were saying it wasn't optimized.
Yeah, it was sluggish. It was like a lot of popping, like you know, cuz there was like outdoor environment. So the LOD and all that stuff was just like constantly just like popping in. The loading times were terrible. Um, so I wish I would have, because I for some reason I thought that I had it for PC, but I had Resident Evil Revelations 1 for PC, not 2. So
Okay.
because I bought them, because you know how like in the eShop they always do those little bundles, like
Mm-hmm.
especially with like older games that they just kind of bundle them together. So it was one of those times where I was like, oh shit, yeah, I definitely want to play Revelations 1 and 2 at some point. And so I finally got around to it. I beat Revelations 1 a few weeks ago, and immediately wanted to start 2. And 2 is a completely different vibe. Like I was saying in single player adventures, it is a mishmash of some of the more well, I don't say more popular, but some of the other popular survival horror games like Evil Within, Last of Us, and Alan Wake. And you're saying Alan Wake, how does all of those kind of? So there's different like mechanics. There's one particular mechanic, and actually one character in Revelations 2 that completely is the one mechanic in Alan Wake with the flashlight. So
Okay.
yeah, so it was that part of it. Um, so I felt like, so 2 is objectively is a really good game. Is uh better than the first one because they give you more options. There's so you're playing basically 2 campaigns that are interweaving. You play as um Claire Redfield and Moira, who's I've never seen her before. And then you have Barry, who is this is the first time he's been playable, but Barry is actually from Resident Evil 1.
But yeah, I
Um,
know that name.
yeah, so he's in Resident Evil 1.
He's with Jill.
Jill, yep. Yep.
Yeah.
He's the one I think that says
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
exactly, yep. Exactly. So that's what he's famous for. But he's in this game. He's actually playable, which is really cool. Which is why I really like these um, this spinoff series of Resident Evil. And I know that they tried some other like spinoff series that were like multiplayer focused, and they were a little kind of janky. But this was done really well. Um, but yeah, I would say like the majority of the game, it didn't have that Resident Evil feel to it. Like they had the staples of combining herbs and combining gunpowder to make not actually this time it wasn't ammo, but you can make bombs or like basically like pipe bombs if you combine a bottle with gunpowder. So it had those elements to it, but like the overall vibe of it was very that first half was very Evil Within, and I didn't necessarily like it because it just wasn't as good as Evil Within. It was definitely an imitation, a I won't say a bad imitation, but a not as great imitation of like that vibe of Evil Within.
Mm-hmm.
But towards the end, it really got more into the Resident Evil cheese, and the you always every Resident Evil game you can start in the most exotic like locales, but you always end up either in a lab or a fucking some sort of mansion, or like all these little staples of Resident Evil. I would say 9 times out of 10 you're always in some sort of sterile lab. So that's kind of the same thing that happened here. But I enjoyed it. It was a fun ride. They did give you a dedicated dodge button, which I really appreciated.
Mm.
Because in the first Revelations, it was kind of like it wasn't as I never felt like I had full control of dodging. It was kind of like I was at the mercy of the game in that sense. So it was kind of so I'm glad they improved on that. But overall, it was a really good game. Like I said, I'm trying to go through my backlog right now, playing more linear games because that's all my brain can handle right now.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been a really good break from that. So yeah, I'm glad I went through it. I do have 2 DLC episodes in Revelations 2 that I'm gonna probably try to complete this weekend. So
Okay.
next time, next episode, I'll have more information on that. Um, and
Okay,
then
but like, but what happens after that? Are you
oh,
another Resident Evil game?
so I'm going to actually. So they actually just announced that Resident Evil 2 remake is getting a PS5 update,
That's gonna
free
be
update later
beautiful.
this year.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
gonna be gorgeous.
So, which is good because I only played Leon's campaign, so I haven't played Claire's
Mm.
yet. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to go back and play that. So I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait till that patch drops, and then I'm gonna go back. Um, I am gonna start playing Cyberpunk because I have it for
Oh.
Xbox. Yep. So I waited because I was like, as soon as they drop the next gen update, I'm gonna get back on that. So yeah, that's next. But on Switch in particular, I'm gonna be playing No More Heroes 2, and I'm finishing up Ninja Gaiden Sigma. So
Okay.
that's the next step on Switch. Like I said, my whole goal is to play my backlog on Switch because last year I completely neglected the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So this year I'm trying to change that. Um, so yeah, and then in addition to that, I've been playing a lot of fighting games. We had a great Wednesday night fight session uh, this earlier this week. We played King of Fighters 15, which is a great game, having a blast. It's actually interesting because I would say some of the more recent fighting games that have come out, I haven't had to practice as much. Like I kind of picked it up and utilized, my existing knowledge of 2D fighters. But King of Fighters is it's old school. It is
Mm-hmm.
like you have um there's no hand holding. Like you really have to like learn these systems, and so um, I kind of came into it of like, yeah, I'm just gonna pick it up and be, decent at it. But nah, this I'm like, okay. First off, you have 3 characters that you're always playing with, so you have to have at least 3 characters that you're knowledgeable about. and then you have to know all the matchups, and then you have to know the combos, at least the bread and butter combos. I don't get as deep into when I play fighting games. I don't learn all the combos. I just get to the basic ones that I can just pull off and be completely fine with. But yeah, this is a humbling game. I'm like, okay, I gotta spend some time in the training session because in Guilty Gear
Okay.
Strive, I maybe spent maybe a handful of sessions in training just to kind of play with the character and see what the moves
Mhm.
are. But in KOF 15, I gotta put that work in.
Hmm.
So yeah, we the in DC Gaming Group we have Fight Club. Our dedicated day going forward is gonna be Wednesday nights.
Okay.
So we're ramping that up. We even recruited Hema and I think Rosie is gonna come out and try some games as well. So but yeah, we're trying to keep it open. We're like I said, our whole philosophy with fighting games is we're open. If you want to come out and just press buttons and see some cool shit happen, that's what we're here for. So it's non-sweat, it's not competitive, and like I said, if
Mhm.
you have any curiosity in fighting games, we got you. So yeah, we're just gonna play a bunch of. So next week we're gonna do KOF 15, and I think we're also gonna do Mortal Kombat because that's one of the games that I think more casual folks can kind of jump in and do cool shit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we getting that ball rolling. And then of course like the usual Halo, both Master Chief Collection and Infinite. Infinite is in a weird state because there's just this season is very long. I mean, the game has been out since December
Mhm.
and we haven't had any major content drops. I mean, we've had a couple new game modes to drop, but nothing. There's no maps. There's no more like major like staple game modes. Like King of the Hill isn't here. Um, what was it? King of the Hill. There's something else that multi team. Where you can have like 2v2v2. Um, there's a bunch of like just weird omissions that we're like, yo, like what the fuck? So the next season is supposed to drop in May, which is perfect because that's around my birthday. But it's gonna be a long 2 months up until that point.
Yeah. That's a minute.
Yeah.
Are
So
they? Do you know if there's been any talk about shortening seasons going into the future? Like, is this just like stumbling block, like just like stumbling out the gate? With this longer season.
yeah, I think it was I definitely think it's because Apex went through the same thing when
Yeah, that is
they
true.
yeah. So and it's this is a new territory for 343 as it was for Respawn. So yeah, it's honestly it's stumbling blocks, it's growing pains. I mean this game has been in development hell for the last 7 years basically, because Halo 5 came out in 2015, and they've been there's been a lot of shit in the background. So I know that the dev team is just tired. They're giving them a break, but the pressure of a free to play game is that you just got to keep people coming back and engaging with the content, or that or they won't spend money in the game. So
Hmm.
it is it's growing pains, but I think that going forward, I think they'll find their cadence, especially as they get these major like one of the big game modes that they're or couple game modes that they're working on is Forge, which is the level and game mode creator that's in the game, and then you also have co-op. The co-op mode is they're working on that too. So I feel like once they get past those like technical hurdles, I think that they'll start to get into a rhythm. But up until then, I mean the content is bare. But luckily the game is still fun. Like I don't play it as often, but every time I do play, you just have to kind of pace yourself so you won't burn yourself out.
Hmm.
So but yeah, I'm still having fun every time I play it, and yeah, man. So Halo, I'm still I'm still in that 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 cycle. That's just my go to. If I got 20 minutes to spare, just play a couple rounds of Halo. So um and then tonight we are doing Splitgate and Halo video game night. Splitgate is the basically think of it as like the indie version of Halo, but
Yeah.
the main appeal is, or the main differentiator is that you have Portal. So think of Halo and Portal having a baby. You have Splitgate,
Yeah.
which is really cool. It's a really cool
And they
game.
do it well. I don't understand how Splitgate. I mean, I know I'm not like necessarily like the first person shooter guy, but I do not understand how Splitgate is not like the biggest game, because even though like I would get it if they didn't do the portals well, but they do the portals
They're
well. Like
doing well. Yeah.
it works out very good. And then like the the maps, like
Mm-hmm.
that's another layer to think about. You can't just think about like making a good first player shooter map, which is hard enough to do on its own, right? Like we've seen a
Absolutely.
lot of games, try and fail. Even if they have fantastic maps, you'd be like, oh, no one plays on this other map. That map sucks. But they have very good first person shooter maps, but they also got to think, where would it be smart and cool to put portals? Like there's a
Absolutely.
whole, so you have to think about the map layout of a game like Portal, and then a map layout of a game like a game like Halo,
Yep.
and mash them together. Like that's insane.
Yeah. I'm happy. I mean, they've grown their own community. Like in terms of esports, like it's actually a thing. They're getting sponsorships from other corporate entities. So it's still growing, and honestly, this is a really good time. The fact that Halo Infinite isn't firing on cylinders right now is they have a void that they can fill, especially for folks that just need some new stimulation. It is a very competent shooter and it's super fun. And like you said, like the fact that it does portals really well. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. So I'm happy that they are experiencing a form of success. They're not in the top of the mind in terms of like the video game zeitgeist, but a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people fuck with it. A lot of they have their dedicated community. So I'm happy that it grabbed hold for folks. So but yeah, that's tonight at 9:30. We're gonna play some Slayers Club. Usually Slayers Club meets every Friday night 9:30. Mostly playing either Halo, um, Splitgate, any shooter that allows for custom games. So we started playing in the early days of Slayer Club. We started playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, and we did a lot of custom games in that. And then following year Cold War, but we did not latch on to Vanguard. It was nobody was
No,
feeling that. Nah,
no,
nah. If they come on Game Pass later this year, hopefully,
yeah,
we'll try it out. But nah, not spending money on that.
fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah. So as you all have seen, we've been DC Gamer Group has been very active. Not only on Discord, but we've also been active in person. So our last event was at Fat Pete's, and that was March 2nd. Justin, how did you enjoy that? What was some of the highlights of that evening?
Well, actually, as I fixed the document because I put this in the wrong spot, that's supposed to go there. So, Ice Cool has become like the unofficial DCGG board game. You have to play. In fact, I am saying that you will play next time. In fact, if you're there in the 18th, it'll be there because I'm bringing it to every future event. It is the game where you flick the penguins. Like there's three people who are playing as delinquents. They're like little bad penguin kids trying to run away from class. One person plays as a hall monitor,
Mm.
and the object of the game is for the three delinquents to run around the school and collect fish that match their color. There are 3 fish. You collect all 3 fish. The round is over. Uh, and then same thing for the hall monitor. The hall monitor is trying to capture all the students. The way the hall monitor does that is by colliding, like actually touching, making contact with another student. All students have a school ID and a hall pass. When they're caught once, the hall monitor takes one of two of those. When the hall monitor catches them again, they take the other one, and then they are out of the round. Uh, and then if the hall monitor is able to get all of the delinquents before anyone gets all their fish, um, they they win, and the round is over, and the new round starts. The game ends when everyone gets a chance to be hall monitor. And I say all this, it sounds not that amazing, but the way you play is that you flick these little plastic penguins around this board that's like low friction, and the penguins are kind of low friction, and like the walls are kind of bouncy, and the penguins have good weight to them. They're like weebles, like they have a really heavy bottom and like a pretty light top, so they don't fall over. So it's like you can flick them and they'll go. They're also the ground the bottom is also rounded, so like if you kind of like flick it to the side, it'll spin and like kind of turn corners. Um, and of course, like if you just flick it real hard in a direction because the walls are bouncy, it'll bounce off the wall and kind of like shoot at a different angle. And we have played it literally every single in-person meetup that we've done so far, and
It's
it's
been
been a
hype.
hit
It's been
every
hype.
time. Yes, it's been a hit absolutely every single time. People are like clamoring for it. We're looking for it. You can always see it. You can always see it's happening. The rules are very simple. In fact, and what I just told you are not the rules from the game. I kind of changed them because it's a it should it, if I'm playing with people who want to get into it, we can get into it. But if we're just trying to get people in and out, play a quick round, play a quick game of 4 rounds. Everyone gets a chance. Who got the most points at the end? Okay, whatever. Maybe winner stays, and then 2 more people can jump. No, 3 more people can jump in, or like the top 2 people stay, and then 2 more people can jump in, and it's been working perfectly. And I don't know, it's kind of become like the unofficial game. We shall see if it maintains this heat, if it maintains this forward momentum. I have to put a stamp on it.
If it maintains its
Um,
coolness.
yes, exactly. Like I don't know. I'm loving how popular it is. There is an Ice Cool 2, which I was like, I'll get one day. But now with how popular this has been, I might get it.
Yeah.
Especially because you can have either Ice Cool 2 and Ice Cool 1 and play them separately, or you can play one big game with 8 people combining Ice Cool 1 and Ice Cool 2 together.
Hmm.
That might be cool. I don't know. It's worth trying out nonetheless. And I actually recently kickstarted the sequel to Ice Cool 2 called Iron Forest, uh, which has a cool little gimmick mechanic that I'll just leave. I'll keep to myself right now. I just gave it away. Anyone can look it up. If you don't want to be spoiled and just have your mind blown the day that it finally comes, and I get to bring it to one of the meetups, just leave that to yourself. But that's going to be a great time. I can already tell it's going to be a great time. I might have to set it up and play so I can be, because right now I'm trash. If I'm playing, let's say we do the top 2 people get to stay. I'm not staying. I'm bad at the game. It's my game. I probably played it more than anyone else who's playing. I'm still getting my ass beat. I'm bad at the game, but I'm having a great time. Maybe I'm gonna put in work. Kind of like I'm gonna do you like King of Fighters. I'm gonna get good at Iron Forest, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
man. You
bring
gotta
it,
grind. You gotta
and
grind.
I'm gonna beat everyone. I'm gonna get so good at flicking, be accurate as hell. But
Gotta
of course
grind it
that's
out.
downstairs. That's the board games. That was how was upstairs going?
Upstairs was popping, man. Like we had, I mean, it was a great energy up there. Folks were hopping on games that they had no idea. Like
Oh,
especially Windjammers is definitely a mainstay. A lot of
okay.
folks are like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Hey, here's a controller. Try it out. Here's the basic buttons, and have at it. And
Hmm.
it's gotten heated on there. One of the things I'm very proud of is so I kind of sneak in every now and then. I sneak in some classic Street Fighter. So we
Hmm.
were playing we had Street Fighter Alpha 1 and 2 running up
Okay.
there, and we had some good battles going on there. Um, yeah, it was good vibes, and like I said, folks are coming with the open mind, and that's the big thing that we always encourage. If
Yeah.
it's not where this is not esports, we don't care if you win or lose. We want you to try out, different games. We're aiming for that arcade vibe, where you can arcade and our basement vibes of when you used to play N64 or PS1 with the multi tap, and you're all there just playing the same game together, sharing the screen. That whole couch multiplayer experience. That's what we're all going for. So yeah, it was like I said, it was great. Oh, we had uh we had one person bring out it was they brought out a GameCube.
Okay.
We had
And
a
what was
game.
and what was on it?
So he had it was I think it was Double Dash. That's the one that's on GameCube, right?
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, Double Dash going. Um
No. Y'all were playing Double Dash upstairs?
yeah.
I didn't need
um
to hear that. I didn't
Melee,
hear that.
of course.
And man, oh my god, I didn't need to hear that.
Of course. I forgot to I'm gonna actually try to reach out to him on the server. I forgot his name, but yeah, we always have at least two stations upstairs where we leave it open to BYOC, which is bring your own console. So the easiest thing is to bring a Switch. We already have a dock. You can just plop it right in, and you're good to go. We even had somebody, actually, his name on Discord is Catafunny. Catafunny. He brought his gaming laptop, and he also has a lot of party games via PC. So one
Hmm.
of the games was fuck, I forget the name of it. Um I'll put it in I'll add it in post. Um
I might be able to help because I saw people talking about it. They were playing Pico Park.
Pico Part, yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes, Pico Part. And that, people loved that. It was, just an easy game to pick up and play. So shout out to Catafani. You immediately got what we were going for in terms of the games that we want to offer and have folks play, like, easy pick up and learn in like 2 minutes, and see some cool shit happen on screen. So it was really good. I was I had a lot of fun upstairs. And like I said, folks were just there with an open mind. So going forward, we have some mainstays, and then we're gonna have some newer games that we'll introduce to the community. A good hint is for you to pay attention to what we post inside of Arcade. So if any trailers that we post in there, those are games. When I say that, those are gonna be mainstays at Arcade. Like, I'm serious. Like, those, like, we've had a um, we'll talk about it, but the State of Play, they did the Cowabunga collection.
Hmm.
So all the Mutant Ninja Turtle games from like the early GB Game Boy and Super Nintendo days.
Yep.
All of those is in one collection. So that is definitely going to be part of the rotation.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, overall it was a great event. Again, shout out to PJ at Fat Pete's. He's been a huge help in terms of like just allowing us to go crazy in that space. He's still running a business while we're doing that, and he's just been a great host, and so we have a lot to thank him for allowing DC Gaming Group to grow and to really realize our vision. Because that even when we first started DC Gaming Group, this was the vision for folks in the DC area to have a place to hang out that love video games, video games and board games.
Hmm.
It's just completely different. vibe from the typical DC networking events and all of that. So um, we're glad that people are just like understanding what we're going for, because that was like a big thing, uh, to a big obstacle for us was to relay that message out there, and people are realizing, oh, okay, so we just going to drink and play video games and get some food. It's like, yeah, exactly.
Yes, yes, yes. Come on down.
Meet
Have a good
people.
time.
Yes,
You
meet
will
people.
have fun.
Exactly. So yeah, again, shout out to PJ at Fat Pete's. We're gonna be back there in April. We haven't announced the date yet, but definitely stay tuned to that. But our next in-person event is going to be the 18th at City State, which is also another uh, venue that has been graciously hosting us there, and then also the Killer Queen group has been a great hosts and allowing us to come there and to hang out and play some Killer Queen and then also play some board games. So this next event, we're building out the video game and board game offering a bit more. We had a great showing that last event at City State, which was, I think it was late February if I'm not mistaken. Forget the actual date, but the venue saw what we that we brought out a great group of folks. Great group of folks means more beer sales and all of that. So now they're allowing us to um, you know do have a bigger footprint in city state. So we're super excited about that. We're ironing out more of the details. So definitely stay tuned inside of Discord, and also make sure you are following us on all of the socials. Um, and then we have some game club updates. So Justin, what's the latest with game club?
Let's see. So right now we we met for Slay Spire. What was that last week?
Oh yeah, so
Uh,
how was that discussion?
that was really good. I actually so funnily enough, it kind of devolved from Game Club into something that I was just not expecting. So like the talk around Slay the Spire was great. People came in with different opinions. Like I myself was like where I was new to the game. There were people who've been playing from the very beginning, like when it was in beta. There are people who have been playing, for years and years and years, even though, after beta. Uh, we had a person who was like best friends with someone who made one of the most popular mods. Um,
Hmm.
I got to drop the knowledge that they're making a board game. People were like, "What? Like they're making a board game?" Like, yeah. But I would say the most interesting part about that was that we had a member, one of our newer members, Rosier, it's about who's will join you for Fight Club, kind of was like, hey, like I'm new. I don't really know everybody here, but I'm having a great time and I really enjoy the community. Since we're like wrapping up in the conversation of Game Club, the people who are still here, does any the people mind if we just introduce ourselves and tell our real names and like some of your favorite games and all that good stuff? And I was like, hey, I always tell you guys, you're like this Discord is yours as much as it is ours. Like if this is what you want to do, now's the time. Go for it. And for the next, I don't know how long because I had to get off, but I mean for like almost an hour plus after the conversation of Game Club had already ended, people stayed on and just talked about what kind of games they like and what DCGG, has like what has allowed them to do in meeting new people and um started talking about like, oh, like I also like board games. Maybe I'll host a board game night, and everyone who's here, I'm talking to them. I like them. Like maybe it can just be these people here. Which is like not to say like it's good that like people are. I won't say it's a clique by any stretch of the imagination, but like I think it's good to be like, hey, I met people, I like people, especially if you invite people over to your house, like you guys come over to my house, like oh well, like. I went over. Oh, I also went to the other person's house, or like I know this other member, and they're cool people. Maybe they can come, and like that's just that constant community building. But like it's community building within the community. Like
Mm-hmm.
we have gotten all the people together, not all the people. We still want all the people. People are joining. I won't say almost, literally every day. I feel like a new person joins.
Yep.
Uh, and we're just pulling them together, but then they find each other, and that's the magic. That's the magic moment right there. Like you two did not know each other, but you had two things in common. You were an adult, and you like video games,
Mm-hmm.
and here you are. I guess you know what I would say this: you're an adult and you like gaming, because we've gotten a lot of people who are just like, hey, I don't play video games. I'm here for D&D, and
Mm-hmm.
we got a D&D event coming up.
Yep.
Like people who join them like, hey, I don't really play video games. I play Final Fantasy 14.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I do. And all the Final Fantasy 14 people always come out the way like, oh yeah, like we also play. Come over here, we're on this server. Like there's always that moment where it's like, you show up and you just like announce at the door, be like, hey, Mass Effect, like, oh, over here,
Mm-hmm.
like, um, it's been great. I'm really loving it. I know this just turned into me gushing about how great DCGG is, but like that's what Game Club turned into.
Mm-hmm.
And but I say that to be like, so like, we also announced a new game, which is the Talos Principle. And I didn't know what this game was because, like I said, I don't research the games when I put them on the list. All I do is to make sure that they meet our platform requirements. The
Mm-hmm.
end. The cover art for this game is like a robot arm petting a cat. Um, the 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 font kind of looks like it's like written in Greek. I'm like, what the fuck is this game? Um, and then I said this is the game. Some people were really excited. I thought there was an upset. People might remember a couple episodes ago, I said that I think I'm pretty sure I know what the next game is going to be, and I think it's going to lead to some of the best discussion that we had. That game was Telltale's The Walking Dead, which has been requested by a lot of people, which is pretty popular. Um, I actually was excited to go back and try it out again. Well, not try it out again, play it again because I loved it when it was new. And it's been a long time. Since then they've made what they made 4 seasons of that and like a spin-off season of that. So like there's been a lot,
Mm-hmm.
to that game since then. So I was like, okay, well let me go back see what the first season was like. But no, that's how his principal ended up winning. So I had no clue what this game was. I asked like, hey, what is this game? Someone came back with like, oh, it's a little bit of Greek mythology, a little bit of like Detroit Become Human, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm like, okay. Like someone said Cyberpunk. I'm like, okay, all right. I don't.
Wow.
You said a lot of stuff. I still don't know what
Yeah.
this game is. I got into it. I can describe, and this is, and I feel like this is like you can tell, like we're all around the same age, but not everyone is,
Yeah.
and like not everyone is the same level of like gamer. Like people are like they'll play certain things, but like I was younger at a younger age. I'm thinking you were the same way. It was a game. I wanted to play it. Like I want to get my hands on it.
Oh,
Like I want to play.
absolutely.
Oh, it's a game. Let me play it.
Yeah.
I might get into it, like, oh, this is not for me. But
Yeah.
like I learned what gaming was, and I was like, okay, I'm doing all of it. I want to try it all. If it's a
Yep.
game, I'm doing it. But no, this game is one game, and it's Myst. Remember Myst?
I do. Yes.
Yeah, right. The old like click and point adventure. Like it was made by Sierra Games.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it was I don't even know. Like they were all kind of weird. Like they would be like either you were like underwater or you were some weird random garden or whatever. Uh, and you had to like there was no dialogue. All the story was told through like through the environment, and you just point and clicked do puzzles, and
Hmm.
go through. I never really liked Myst. Uh,
Yeah, I
I don't know.
never I never played them. It never looked like my cup of tea.
Yeah, and you're right. You're right. I know your gaming taste. Even though you keep surprising me recently, but I know your gaming taste. Myst is not for you. Myst is
Yeah.
not for me. And I like slow, thinky, weird. I'm gonna get high and play this game type of
Yeah.
things. Uh, This one's tough for me. This one's
Okay.
tough for me.
Okay.
I had issues, before with in Game Club. This might be the one that breaks me. This might be the one where I just go to YouTube
And
and
watch.
watch it,
Okay.
or it might be the game that I just go through with a guide,
I
and
got you.
because apparently you can beat the game in like 4 hours if you got a guide.
Oh
But that's the
wow.
case with a lot of those old like point and click adventure
Yeah.
games. Like a lot of them, you can beat it in 4 or 5 hours if you got a guide. If you don't got
Mm-hmm.
a guide, it's like 20 hours because you ask to spend time. Like, do you need to put the cat in the toaster? Like, maybe that'll do it. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know, but I like I do see why people are excited because there is a story there that is interesting. It's all told through notes that you read and audio logs.
Oh,
Like
interesting.
you
So is it
you
kind
you,
of
you
like
know
the every time I look at it, I think of like The Witness.
Yes, it's
Is
very witnessy. I will
okay.
say this though, I like The Witness a great deal, but it wasn't point and click adventure.
Yeah.
Witness, like to me, was almost like learning a new language. Like it started off being like, hey, here are the rules for a puzzle, but then after a while they stopped giving you rules for puzzles, and they're just like, okay, you remember that puzzle? Yeah. You remember that puzzle? Yeah. Okay, this puzzle is those two puzzles at the same time. Oh, okay. I can do that. And then like later on, like towards the end of the game, like okay, remember all those 10 puzzles? This is all 10 puzzles at the same time, plus a thing that only makes sense if you fully understand those other 10 puzzles. You got it? Okay, bye. That's how the witness
Yeah.
was. I like that. Like that was like really like I remember sitting down and like almost like and I took out like a notepad and was just like drawing as opposed to like actually doing it on the game. Like the witness got me like that.
Oh wow. Did you beat it?
Yeah, I did beat the witness. I did. Yeah, I did beat the witness. I didn't 100% it because I didn't realize until much later, totally by accident, that there were like the environmental puzzles were everywhere. I don't know if you played. I don't know how deep you got into the witness.
I never actually
Okay.
played it. I'm just aware of it because I've been I follow that guy Jonathan Blow, who's the
Yes.
creator of that.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason actually, so I actually got to very randomly I got to meet the some of the artists or the devs that helped out with that game out in
Hmm.
Oakland. So I was this was back when I was doing the um technology and gaming labs organization,
Yeah.
which we taught kids how to make video games and all of that. So they have another organization called Game Heads, which is out in Oakland, and they had a special. I just happened to be in Oakland in town, and I reached out to Damon Packwood, who's the ED at that organization, and I was like, "Yo, like I'm in Oakland, just want to come by and just hang out with the kids and see what they're working on." He's like, "Yeah, come on through," and then coincidentally, it was two like hype moments for me. One of them was when they were, I guess they were kind of like researching or just playing around with Hotline Miami.
Okay.
So I got to just like go in there because they were like having a hard time. I was like, oh, let me get on the sticks real quick. Just started playing. I was like, God damn, I forgot how much I missed this game. So yeah, I got to play Hotline Miami with the students there, and then they had a special guest from I forget his studio's name, but for the folks that worked on The Witness, they
Okay.
came by and did like a little presentation about game design and game art. It was really cool. So I have a very unique relationship to that game, even though I never played it.
Yeah.
But
Uh, it's a fun game if you like puzzles because like I said that's the thing like so I'll say this because I'm sure there is somebody listening to this who has lost their shit. They're like, how dare he say the witness and the Talos Principle are the same or similar? Like the Talos Principle is very much like those point and click adventures. Not even so much like combining things, but like it's like environmental puzzles. Like weighted blocks
mm-hmm.
and like lasers that need to connect so it opens up a door. Like those kind of puzzles.
Got you.
And I guess point and click is also unfair. So yeah, I'll take point and click as well. It's like environmental puzzles like that. Kind of more like, in fact, kind of like Portal.
I was actually gonna say that it kind of
Yeah,
had some Portal vibes to it.
yeah. Kind of like Portal without the portals. Just like you have to do everything manually. If the box got to go over there, you got to take the box over there. You're not going to get to throw it through a portal. Like that kind of thing. As opposed to the Witness, which is puzzles. Like you go up to like the whole world. You walk around. You walk up to like a little console. You go walk up to it. It zooms in, and it's a puzzle. It's a line puzzle. Like you gotta get line from point A to point B, and you gotta do all the things that make sense in between. That's that. The reason why I say that they're similar is because they're both like very minimal music, like very minimal, like there's like nobody else, like all the voices that you hear are audio logs. Um, you just like wake up on an island basically, or like I think in here you're like in a garden or you're in like ruins.
You're in
It's
Serious
bizarre.
Sam. That's literally Serious
Yeah,
Sam's.
yeah, exactly. Yes, you told me about that. Like it's
That shit is. I was like, hold up, that's just the same fucking map from Serious Sam.
um yeah, I feel like if I ever play Serious Sam, I'm really gonna know the maps well because man, do you
Yeah,
trek around those maps. You are schlepping. Like you are
absolutely.
going around this place constantly. So I don't know. We shall see. I guess we have a couple of recordings in between now and when we actually do next game club. So
Gotcha.
it looks like about 4 sessions between now and the next game club. So we'll have some conversations, you know, about it. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if I break and just end up watching it on YouTube. I don't mind watching a 4 hour, point. I keep saying environmental puzzle adventure. Uh, on YouTube, I can do that.
Gotcha. Cool. So yeah, if you haven't joined Game Club, make sure you do. It is in. You can do so by just there's a Game Club channel and group in our Discord. Just hop in and figure out what like I said, the game of this month is the Talos Principle, and that's on what every platform.
Oof. Pretty much. I'm playing it on PS4, but I know it's on Switch. I know it's on PC. Yeah, it's you can find it. You can find it if you have a gaming console. You can play. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure by now it's also because it's old too. I didn't know this. I'm pretty sure you can get it on like an iPad or something too at this point.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool, cool. So yeah, that's Game Club. Let's hop into our topic of the week. So earlier this week, what day was that? Was it Wednesday or was it yesterday? I think it was Wednesday. Um, Earlier this week on Wednesday, we
It
had
was Wednesday. It was Wednesday.
our Sony State of Play, which is basically highlighting all the games that are coming out within this year and some next year. And we not necessarily want to talk about or briefly talk about what they showed at State of Play, but also just kind of talk about that format of State of Plays. Is what are we like from that? What we hope that they kind of improve on going forward? Just like our overall feeling towards it. This particular State of Play was highlighting games from Japanese developers and publishers. So I think the only American, or I don't know if they're American, Housemark. They're what, a European or something.
Yeah. Right.
I think
Yeah.
I want to say they are.
Well,
Uh, Let me
actually,
look
I
up.
don't think they are. Now I feel like they are.
Yeah, they're Finland. They're from Finland.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, so majority of the stuff that they showed at this State of Play was a lot of Square stuff, Square Enix. Um,
Yeah,
but
it was a lot of first stuff.
so let's talk about a couple of the highlights. The what did you think of that? You referred to it as the Turok game.
Yeah, so the new Turok looks cool. I just, I don't know. I mean, what it really is like it's Earth Defense Force, right?
Yeah.
But with dinosaurs instead of ants.
Yep.
and it's also like a little bit of, dare I say, Anthem.
It was very Anthem like. Yep. The javelin designs.
Yeah, a little bit of Anthem, a little bit of Earth Defense Force. I would say more EDF than
Absolutely.
Anthem.
Absolutely.
Um, I
It's
don't
like Earth
know.
Defense Force with a budget.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Which is already Earth Defense Force. So
Yep.
I don't know. We shall see. If it comes, let's say if it comes to it won't come to Game Pass. It's got to be PlayStation, right? So if it's
Well, it's
cheap or if
Capcom.
it's
It
free,
it's going to be multi-platform, so
okay,
it might be part of the revamped PlayStation Now. Um,
maybe.
so that's something to keep in mind. But
I was Yeah,
yeah,
I'm saying if it's cheap or if it's free, I might get a team together and play it.
yeah,
It looks like a fun time.
it's just weird because the characters look very cool, but the
Yes.
the dinosaurs themselves look so lame. I'm
Oh
like, they're just
no!
regular dinosaurs. I'm like, dog, like put some like energy blast in them, like add
No,
some lightning to them or something.
no.
They were just
It's just
regular.
dinosaurs.
It was just a regular
It's awful portal
Triceratops.
in the sky.
A regular Triceratops, just like spearing a fucking like javelin. I'm like, dog, this is
Oh my
so
god.
like I love the ridiculousness of it, but I just hope I the the coolness of your team, your mechs and your suit and all of that, like that shit is really cool. Your weapons, and you're just like fighting regular dinosaurs. It was so jarring, and how like it was so out. It was unbalanced in terms of like how cool that concept can be, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And you know how you know how I feel about dinosaurs. I'm not the biggest fan of dinosaurs. So that was
I
kind of
do. I
like two
learned this
strikes.
recently.
That was like two strikes. So um, I don't know what to make of that game, man. Like it looks like it has a budget. Looks like they're serious about it, but and I think it's going to be a games as a service probably.
Yeah, I guess.
So
I don't know. It's games like that that make you like think like, what is like people put a lot of time and effort and money into that.
like, who is this
Like,
for?
yeah, who is it for? Do you think it's going to be big? Like, and that, like, I'm like, but the answer is like, yes, you do think it's going to be big. Like, why
Yeah,
else would you make it? Like, right now, games like that, the idea is like, hey, we want you to play this game forever until you die.
yeah,
You know, like
basically.
just give us money on this one game until you die,
Yep.
and like so, like they expect something out of it. I don't know. I don't know because like EDF, they do it right. Like they released a super janky game for like $20 to $30, and and you play it for like 6 hours, and then it's done.
Yep.
And then Earth Defense Force, 12 comes out the next week. Like
Yep.
it just
Exactly.
keeps happening. This is not the way. Like if they are going to do a live, games as a service, whatever, with javelins fighting dinosaurs, I don't think the audience is going to stay around. I just don't think that's going to
Yeah.
happen.
I, it's weird. I mean, cuz it's I mean, this is also the company that makes fucking Monster Hunter. As much as I don't like really like the gameplay of Monster Hunter, I can at least say like the monsters look cool. The concept itself is really cool. But this just is this kind of doesn't have that cool factor to it. Like your everything like before they actually showed that black hole of like dinosaurs just falling through a fucking wormhole. Um, everything looked really cool, and I was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
shit, I'm on board. And then they showed that, and I was just like, what? Um, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they at least make the dinosaurs look a little cooler, instead of just regular dinosaurs. But yeah, something to keep an eye on. They showed Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm already sold on that. I don't need
Yeah.
to see any more. That's right up my alley. Um, they are released the demo of Final Fantasy Origin today for was it Stranger of Paradise?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. It's the second demo.
Mm. So, how are you gonna try that out or?
I mean, I tried the first demo out. I haven't tried the second demo out yet.
Okay.
I may, I don't know. I do. The first one was hard. Oh my god, that game was hard.
It's Team Ninja, dog. Like those
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Honestly, you should try it out. You should try it out.
You
Like
know,
it is. Well, go ahead.
I think I will because it is the fact that it is Team Ninja. I like. I mean, I tried to like the Neo series, but it's just too hard.
Hmm.
I really love the Ninja Gaiden series, so um, they are up there in my book is Platinum and then Team Ninja in terms of like creating very compelling action games. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna at least try to demo out.
Yeah. I think just it, press keep your finger over the start button to go through those cutscenes and dialogue because man are they bad. Oh my god. But the gameplay is fun. It's tough, but you like that. You like fun, tough gameplay, so you'll enjoy it.
Cool. Um, the show Forspoken, I'm already sold on that. I don't really need to see any more. They did
I'm sold on
delay
that
it.
too.
Yeah,
It's not that I want to see more of it. It's just I don't know. I guess I really just want it in my hands because
yeah,
I
me too.
still don't know anything about it. Like they
I'm
keep showing stuff. I just
yeah.
want to play it. I do want a demo of that. That's something I do want a demo
That
of because I
yeah, that
keep
is true.
seeing things and I'm like, how do you do that? Like she's doing way too much in that game for it to be like. I'm not seeing enough repeated things, like repeated attacks
I know
and
what you mean.
abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like like it's cool. Like I want a variety. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like we're gamers. We want to see that, but at the same time,
It's like is it too
it's
good to be true?
yeah. Like you see a trailer and then you keep seeing it when you see something that happens again in a different context. You're like, okay, so I know that there's like. I don't know. There's like a big attack that you can do, or like a slash and a dash. Things like that.
Yeah.
But like I'm seeing all kinds of magic, different kinds of magic. I'm seeing flying through the air. I'm seeing melee attacks. I'm
Yep.
seeing ranged attacks. I'm seeing everything, and I'm like, okay, so either all this is in it, and like some of it's good, or like it's all mediocre, or it's all great, but like you're not going to do it all. Like I don't know. I just want to get my hands on it. I would love a demo of it because I'm still a little hesitant on just like day one purchase. Like I'm very hesitant for that, but like a black female protag is going to be hard to pass up, even though there's a lot of I'm sure you remember like a lot of the weird like quotes that were coming out of the press junkets around Forspoken, where they were like, "What is it Forspoken? Forsaken?
Mm. Oh, Forspoken. Yeah.
Forspoken?"
Yeah.
Where they were like, we gave her a hip hoppy walk, things like that, and it's just like,
Oh.
oh boy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But I,
Okay.
I don't know. Like there's just I can I'm trying to think like how many games. It might be the only one. Like can you think of another one that there is like the protagonist the protagonist is a black woman and not like Mass Effect I made my shepherd a black woman. Like
Yeah.
no. Or not, and not like a game like Streets of Rage where there's a lot of different characters, and one of them just so happens to be a black woman.
Yeah.
I'm saying like a game
Like
where there was
narratively
one,
designed.
narrative design around the fact that the character that you were playing as is a black woman,
Oh, I'm sure there is. I'm blanking right now.
right? I feel like just by asking the question, there is an answer that's there that was instantly shoved away.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think.
Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to get back to y'all on that.
Yeah,
But yeah, yeah, like I said, I'm sold on Forspoken. They delayed it and they said that the game is complete but it's mostly they're polishing it out, which is really good because like you said, there's a lot of shit going on and like in those sequences. So if they can polish that out and make it run really well and have all the effects in order, I mean, that is gonna. I think that's a sleeper hit this year. If it can pull it off and pull off that feeling of feeling awesome and looking awesome while doing it, I think that game is poised to to be a sleeper hit. So I'm glad that they're just going to take their time on that and let it grow. The next thing is the Gundam game, the Gundam Overwatch game, basically.
Yeah,
Um,
we can skip that.
yeah, that looked yeah. I'm not interested. Then we had the Cowabunga collection, the TMNT, uh, all the classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games from
Yeah,
the.
watching that, I realized that I've really only played two two of those
Yeah, me
games.
too. I only played the two of those the beat 'em ups. I never played
Yeah,
the fighting games,
I didn't even
and
know that existed.
I didn't
I
either.
I was like, what is this? What is it? Like, this is in the game? I'm like, oh my god!
Yeah,
I had to go to Google. I was like, oh my god, yes.
yeah.
But yeah, the arcade and Turtles in Time. Those are
Yep,
the only two games I played.
exactly. Yep, same with me. So I'm excited about that. We're getting two big like classic game collections this year, the Cowabunga collection, and then we're getting that Street Fighter, um, or actually Capcom Fighters collection, which has like Dark Starkers and Pocket Fighters and all that shit. So um, you if you have a back catalog of games that are just sitting there, re-release them. Like, we want to give you money. Like, that's what gamers are saying. We want to give you money. We A lot of us, I mean, we know how to do emulation and stuff, but you don't want to mess around with that all the time. Like,
Yeah,
it's cumbersome. I mean, it's a lot easier these days than before, but if you just give it to us on our modern consoles, uh it's free money,
yeah.
and there's studios that are out here, their whole purpose is to create these collections and bring them forward. So, um, looking
And
at
I'm
you,
thinking, so the Cowabunga collection, does that come out before or after Shredder's Revenge?
we still don't know when Shredder's Revenge is coming out. They haven't gave
Okay,
out a solid date. At least I don't think. Um, but
because I hope they're smart and they release it before. Because if they release it after, I don't know.
yeah, that's
Like, it's
that's
gonna be tough to go back,
back. Yeah, it'll be more of a
especially because it looks
novelty.
so damn good. Dot, oh my god, Dot Emu is just,
I
oof.
know they are firing on all cylinders.
It
Yeah,
looks like the game looks like an up-resed version of the old cartoon
exactly,
show, and like
exactly.
that's all I want.
Yep. Yeah, there's still no date on Shredder's Revenge, so um
It would be
and
a good summer arcade game.
absolutely. And I think that yeah, there's no date on the Cowabunga collection either. So maybe they're maybe in the background coordinating to see what.
I hope they're coordinating. I hope
Yeah.
they're coordinating because I want to see both do well.
Absolutely. Um and then actually a game that we played the last time we recorded, Gigabash, they revealed that, announced that it's coming to consoles as well. Definitely going to get it
Let's
on PC.
get on it. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Definitely gonna get it on
Parsec.
PC, and we're gonna parsec it. It's a great game. I'm glad that more people know about it. Hopefully they make it crossplay, but that's me. Maybe
Yeah,
asking a little
hopefully they
too
make a
much.
cross. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully they do make a crossplay. Of course, we'll have Parsec, so we'll be able to get people on regardless. But those, like, just like watching the trailer and then watching this new trailer, those four-player battles
Oh, they're gonna
look
be
like they're going to
insane.
be, oh my
They're gonna
god,
be
especially if
insane.
everyone gets their powers up and everyone like transforms into like their big version.
Oh man,
Woo! Man, I
yeah,
want that game. I had so much fun playing that.
that
Like, I've been
was
itching.
that
I was
was
itching.
fun. That was fun. Um, and then last few games, JoJo's Bizarre fighting game. Apparently it's a re-release of a PS3 game. I don't know
Yeah.
much about the JoJo's Bizarre franchise, uh, but
Same. Outside of the memes, I don't know.
yeah,
I haven't really watched it. It looks like something I would enjoy because it looks like it's batshit crazy, and I
yeah,
every now and then I do enjoy an anime that's just what is going on here. Like,
yeah,
um, but I don't know. It's so popular. The memes have always like made me laugh, and the character designs look amazing. They're all just like hyper beautiful men, and like I guess all like the women are also really beautiful, but like the women are also like really muscular. So like everyone kind of looks the same. Like everyone's androgynous because the men are so beautiful, and the women are like as beautiful but like really muscular. So you're like everyone looks the same, and then like they're like I don't know what they basically like their personas like in a way, you
Yeah.
know, like all like bondage freaks. I'm like, what is this show? Like
Yeah.
everything looks amazing here. It's kind of sexy. Like I think I'm in. So
Yeah,
I gotta watch it one day.
I'm actually I'm down to at least try out the this fighting game. It looks pretty fun.
Hmm.
So I will keep that, and if anybody, um we're big on, especially in Fight Club, we're big on just trying like other fighters too, so we don't just play the normal ones that are going to be featured at Evo, but we love playing these offshoots as well. So yep, so we'll have that. The next one is Trek to Yomi, which looks really cool. It's basically like looks like Sifu but samurai version.
Yeah,
um
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's one is like it's like black and white, right? And it
yeah.
yes, yeah. That looked
So
really cool.
yeah, so I'm definitely gonna pick that up. Returnal is getting a major update, the co-op update, and also a survival mode, which is weird because the whole game is basically a survival mode.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, right. You die, you go back to the beginning. I mean, that's what
ba-
survival mode is, right?
exactly. So,
I guess
me,
they should have called it endless because I think that's what
yeah,
it is. I think it's an endless mode.
I got you. And I think that so yeah, JK and I were gonna try to co-op and see how that is. But yeah, I still have
Let me
I've,
know if you think it's something that I would enjoy because I might pick it up.
yeah, I love the game, but it's what everybody says. It's hard as shit.
Hmm. But I'm
um,
wondering if the co-op can alleviate that.
that's what I'm thinking. Maybe.
Unless it is if one of you die, you go back to the beginning. Then no, I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm looking back out.
I'm hoping that it's like, you have a chance to maybe revive that
Yeah.
person. So and then lastly, like I was saying before, Square Enix also announced a new RPG called the Diofield
Yeah.
Chronicle.
Which I didn't do any research into it, but I was like it. I remember as the trailer was happening, I'm like, this reminds me of Valkyria Chronicles, Valkyria account. I don't know how to say it. I don't think I've ever said the name of the game out loud.
Yeah.
Uh, but like it's melodramatic, you know, anime teens fighting a war. And I'm like, yeah, this really reminds me of that. And then the title came up, and it was like that Chronicles. And I was like, huh. Because the thing with Valkyria Chronicles is that it's like I don't know, it kind of has like a World War I kind of vibe. You know, like there's like tanks, and there's like long rifles, and you go up to the top of the hill, and you shoot down at the people, but it's all like turn-based strategy. This had the same thing, but like different name, like same kind of name and convention, but different name and more modern. So I'm like, oh, I wonder if it's like meant to be like this spiritual successor to that, to those games. So I'm like, okay, it might be the case. It might have already been explicitly said. I didn't look it up, but
Mm,
I might end up picking that one up.
okay. Uh, doesn't look like my cup of tea for sure, but definitely intrigued to know a little bit more about it. Um, and then so there was that one, and then there was the other Valkyrie Elysium, which actually looks pretty interesting. But it was very vague in terms of when I guess it's supposed to come out or what it is. So I don't know. This all this stuff is new to me, but the gameplay for that one looks pretty interesting. So yeah. So at the very least,
Which one
uh,
was that again?
it's called Valkyrie Elysium. So apparently it's a new entry in Square Enix Valkyrie Profile series.
Oh, okay, yes.
So apparently that started on the PS2 generation.
Yeah. Okay.
So, so yeah, it looked interesting at the very least, but probably won't pick it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's the question of, um, how do we like this state of play format? Justin, what are your thoughts on that?
I think because, I'm a gamer, I enjoy games. I do get excited when they're like, "Hey, state of play tomorrow." Not because it's a state of play tomorrow, but because it means more games, more gaming news, and the possibility that like I'll get something that I really want. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like maybe they're going to say something about the new Wolverine game, or maybe they'll announce something that I never saw coming. Um, but there's a magic lacking in these state of plays, mind you.
Very sterile.
The generic, the overall state of plays, the ones that are specific to games are fantastic. I think they do a great job.
So
But
something like the deep dives, like they did with Ghostwire Tokyo,
yes,
um, Gran Turismo,
yeah,
stuff like that. Okay, got you.
yeah. Like and like I watched the one for Gran Turismo. I don't plan on buying that game. I am very much over sim racers,
Yeah, me too.
but it
I
was a
just
very good showing of that game.
yeah,
I don't know what is keeping Sony from reaching the same kind of like pop,
magic.
fun, like that magic, that also that pace that the Nintendo Directs have.
Yeah,
Like the Direct is the gold standard because I would say even like bad Directs, they move. Like
yeah.
they're in and out. Uh, they do a good job of showing you this, now this, and if it's something that's kind of weird, even the announcer will be
They
like,
acknowledge it.
What's
Yeah,
this?"
yeah.
Like they won't
They
do that.
have a very good. They're very self aware.
Yes, and I don't know, like they're everything that the state of play is not, and I don't want to spend you know a section talking about the state of plays by talking about the Nintendo Directs, but it's impossible to not make that connection because Sony was inspired by the Direct.
Oh,
They just
absolutely,
were,
absolutely.
and they were inspired by, but they're just not hitting like that. Like they're Nicktoon All Star. No, you know what? No, 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 no. Better. They are.
PlayStation All
Yeah,
Stars.
PlayStation All Stars, and Nintendo with Smash Brothers. Like it's
Yeah,
just not like you guys missed
missing.
something.
Yeah,
You're missing something.
missing that ingredient. Nah, I agree, man. It is very. It comes off of very corporate and sterile. And Nintendo's is very playful, like you said, self aware. The pace, the even like the music is like even in between like ding 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 ding, ding. And going in between different presentations. They
Yep.
have the personal element. They have actual humans that are
Hmm.
doing the snap, and
Yep.
it's like it's personality behind it, and PlayStation is just like you know like I said, I feel like yeah they're definitely missing an opportunity to kind of excite the fan base even more. But I think they're just approaching it and like, we're Sony, we're PlayStation. You're gonna like whatever we put out. So here it is. We're gonna do, minimal effort in terms of entertainment value. The entertainment here is that you get to know what we're up to for the next year or a few months. Um, and yeah, it is really missing that magical element to it. Um, and and I think overall, PlayStation has kind of lost that playfulness. Honestly,
Hmm.
over the last few years, everything is very serious now. Like they would, it's what happened to like these like you remember the PlayStation 3 era? It was a lot of like experimental games like think about what was it, Tokyo Jungle, Fat
Yes.
Princess, shit like that. Like they just kind of, I as much as like critically I understand how great their games are and their first party games are, but I just feel like overall PlayStation is kind of missing that magical element. I think the state of play is just a microcosm of that, and um, I kind of miss like I miss those days of PlayStation just kind of being a little weird,
Yeah.
you know.
I
And
feel like they're still kind of weird, but like they're like the wrong kind of weird. Like,
yeah,
like they've gone from quirky to just like awkward.
yeah, exactly. Like they're straddling that corporateness and
Yes.
also being like, we're for gamers but we're corporate, and
Yeah.
it is very, and then maybe it's the leadership, and I don't know, but I mean they're doing their job. I mean they're making money. They're very
Yeah.
successful with their platform, and they're doing something right. People are literally killing each other for PlayStation 5.
Ugh.
So like they're creating a successful product, but I think like you said, I think we're both of us are we remember the romantic days of video games and what PlayStation used to be, and the PS1, PS2 days, and even PS3, and where they just did weird shit and really just embraced it.
Hmm.
Because now I think everything just seems so calculated.
Yeah.
So but I mean, I would say the pros of the state of play is that, I mean, you can't really say anything about the games that they've been producing in terms of first party. I mean, everything's been pretty much quality the last, or the entirety of the PlayStation 5 generation. I mean, it's
Hmm.
been, maybe it's not for every gamer, but there's a little bit of something for everyone, and critically, these games are quality, and so you really can't dispute that. So it's, in terms of the state of play, what they're showing is important and intriguing for folks, but um I think just the format of it is just can be played with a bit more.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they're going to change anything though. I think that's the
That's the takeaway, right? That's the
yeah,
thing.
because it's like, what do you talk about? Like, what are we gonna change?
Yeah.
Uh,
What do you mean to say the plays aren't good? The money shows that everything's working. You're like, okay, that's how you guys think. You're right. You're right.
yep,
We'll let you be.
absolutely. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for? What's like the next big PlayStation game that you're gonna play?
Ooh. Like PlayStation proper,
Mm-hmm. Like
probably
first
Spider
party.
Man. Spider Man's supposed to come out this year. I would say God of War Ragnarok, but I still need to play God of War 2018.
Yeah,
uh,
it's a good time to play that because it has the PS5 patch, so you're gonna
yeah,
play at the
like the best possible
best.
way.
Yes.
And I'm excited. I really am. I don't know. It's just one of those things where I don't know. I'm sure not everyone's like me, but like I deny myself stuff that I know I'm going to love. I don't know why. I do it to myself all the time. Like I don't know. So but I've been doing that with God of War since it came out. Like because I had a PS4 Pro when it came out, so I was
Yeah.
able to play what was the best at that time,
Yeah.
and just never did. Um, I
Well,
don't know. I don't know.
what's your history with God of War in general? Like, were you a big God of War fan?
Yeah, I loved 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Mainly because I was a big fan of, well, still am a big fan of Greek mythology,
Mhm.
and then of course, I mean they do a lot in those games, but they also take a lot and just like toss it out the window. They're like,
Oh
we don't
yeah,
care.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but I remember playing that, and then I remember playing what was it, Ascension, that
Mhm.
had the multiplayer mode.
Yep.
Yeah, we played a lot of that back in high school. Yeah, that would have been high school, right? Yeah, that
No,
was just
that was college.
that was college. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that was. So we played a lot of Ascension. Um, that was a good time. But yeah, I mean I like Kratos. I like the God of War series, even though I know like this is people have told me like you don't need to play those to play this one. I'm like I know, like so I don't know. I'm ready to get into it. I've heard nothing but great things. Everything I've seen has been great. I pretty much know all the spoilers now as well. That's another thing that's like not making me necessarily like chomping at the bit to get into it. Like I know of such a weapon.
Yeah.
I know uh Loki's thing. Like I know all that stuff.
Mhm.
Um, I hope for people who don't know, I just said two spoilers that don't make any sense. Like I feel like I feel like those two things don't make any sense on their own.
No,
But
they don't, and don't pay attention. You didn't hear
exactly, don't
anything.
pay attention and just keep moving. But yeah, like so I feel like that's the thing. But like when I first heard about the like I know of weapon like I that was like that was the one of the first times in a long time. Like I'm very spoiler averse. I don't like spoilers, but that was one of the first times in a long time where I was like, I am so sad because I know for a fact that if I
Experience that.
yeah without knowing I would lose my shit and not really experiencing that. And the thing is like I had no one to blame but myself. Like I
Mm.
could have done it and I just didn't because I'm an idiot. So I don't know. I'm gonna play. I probably will like golden path it, just go straight through, just like just hammer it out in a
That's what I
couple of
did.
weeks. Like well, I'm say a couple of weeks, like a couple of PlayStation sessions.
Mhm.
Just really just like oh, the side quest over here. Don't worry about that. Just like keep on because like it has RPG elements though, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
See, that's the thing that might get me into doing side quests and stuff. I like being overpowered.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
maybe.
It took me. I'll be honest. It like I love the game, but I won't say that I was hooked on it. Um, I played it a good portion of it. I played probably like 60% of it, and then put it down for a while. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what. I don't know why. Cause I really do love the game, but it just
Hmm.
I can't quite put my finger on why I just didn't want to play through it at for a good little while. And that's honestly that's a lot of PlayStation games these days. Like I can't quite put my finger on why I don't like Horizon that much. Because I know like objectively it's like a great package in terms of it's amazing open world. You got these crazy you know uh machines that
Hmm.
and like all this stuff should not work, but it works. And it just I don't know. It's something about it just didn't grab me, which is unfortunate because I love Gorilla, I love Killzone, and I was
Yeah.
hoping to be able to kind of follow them along, just like I was hoping to follow Bungie when they went to Destiny, but I just didn't that series never grabbed me either. So yeah, but I will say, it is yeah. God of War is it's an amazing game. Ragnarok is going to be, just kind of continuing that same lineage. But yeah, I mean,
But what about you? I said I took Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2 to be exact. What's the next big Sony exclusive for you?
the next big one is going to be Ghostwire. Ghostwire Tokyo is the immediate one. The far out one is God of War Ragnarok. I feel like I'm missing something, but that's ones that kind of come up in my mind. But yeah,
I mean, I guess that's the thing, right? Like Sony first party, they're not like cranking out games, but the games that they put out have been quality. Like
yeah,
that's the thing, right? Like
quality
it's like
over
you're gonna wait
quantity.
for your next title,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes, it's going to be amazing. Like you're not going
Absolutely.
to. It's going to be at the very least, like an 8.5 out of 10.
Yep.
Like that's we aren't producing anything that is lower than that. Like we
Basically.
refuse,
Yep.
and I can respect that. I can respect that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's
And
PlayStation is becoming more and more of like we said before, like a boutique, you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
smaller, more focused thing, and they're just letting Xbox be the big bombastic like, hey, come over here, we got everything. Because I don't know if you saw, but like after a pretty great offering on Game Pass already that they did, what was that last month, where like Mass Effect and all kinds of amazing games went on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like this month, we're getting Guardians of the
Guardians.
Galaxy,
Yep.
which I'm so glad because I was like, I got
I
to buy this
was.
game. That you know me, like
Yeah.
I'm like I am a Marvel guy. I'm a Marvel guy, and like they were like in this game, they were like, oh, you make Mass Effect type, dialogue decisions in it. I'm
Yep.
like, okay, so I'm in. I never got around to buying it. I'm glad I didn't.
I'm glad I didn't
Uh,
either. I was like, you know what? I have a feeling that's coming to Game Pass. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. And sure enough, boom. So,
Yeah. And then the other one that's like really got me really excited is Kentucky Route Zero.
mm,
Like
I've been hearing a lot of people are excited about that.
it's a really weird game that I never actually got into it the way I want to get into it, and I'm trying to remember where I have it. I think I already have it on PlayStation 4, so I think I'll just play it on PlayStation. But like that people who I'm sure there are a lot of people who've heard a lot about it, who like those types of games, and and are never actually got around to getting it. Hey, guess what? Now's the time.
Yep,
You
exactly.
know?
So, yeah, yeah, well let's check in every now and then to kind of get a pulse on Sony because I know I've been feeling a certain way the last few years ever since like the PS4 generation. I just been like, y'all are good and putting out good games, but I'm not as hyped. I don't know
Yes.
why. What is up? What is up here?
I think the
Um,
hype isn't there because a lot of it is obvious. Like
yeah,
every now and then they'll be like, "Here's a Ghost of Tsushima." And you're like, "Ooh,
yeah,
okay." But
exactly.
like after that, like you're not going to be surprised when they're like
Yeah,
Ghost of Tsushima 2. You're like, yeah, well, obviously,
yeah,
like
yeah,
obviously, or if they do a remaster of Ghost of Tsushima before they do Ghost of Tsushima 2, like you're just, I don't know, it's just not.
it's yeah,
I
it's
don't know. I
predictable.
don't
They're
know.
they're they're definitely playing by um, they're just going the typical route of all right, these were successful, so you're
Yep.
gear up for the next one. I was like,
Yep.
okay,
The algorithm says that this is good.
yep, yep. So, all right, anything else for state of play? State of
Uh
play needs more play.
there you go. There you go.
Like,
I mean, like it's literally like there's plays in the title. It's a play on State of the Union. It needs an announcer, like someone who's actually addressing people,
yeah,
and there needs to be more gameplay. There you go. There you go. Those are the two things: an announcer and trailers that are more centered around gameplay, or maybe not even trailers, just like a really good vertical slice of gameplay.
yeah,
Boom. There you go.
yep.
Their state of play. You got it.
Needs more play. All right. So that's it for this episode. Again, our name is Not Circ. In our Discord and everywhere else on the interwebs, but my real name is Creston. Thank you for joining us. Again, joined by Justin, the real pipe gamer.
Yo.
Did we get a breadcrumb this week?
Oh, yes. See, it was not. Last thing was DRPG. Oh, so let's go with pipe. So the reason why the pipe is capitalized, it's a lot of things. It's homage to Mario. Uh, it's an homage to I guess like I don't know why I always picture like Pac-Man was in pipes. I don't know why. I'm wrong. I'm aware of this,
I mean,
but I always
it kind of look when you look down, it kind of looks like a sewer system in a little bit,
yes.
right?
So I guess but yeah, so like it was that because I like there was a moment in my life where I painted myself a retro gamer. not so much anymore. But so it was that, and then honestly, I've had this username for a very long time, and I made that username, and I had discovered weed, so I was I often like to get high and play video games, and my preferred way to smoke is out of a pipe. So
There we
there
go.
you go.
Awesome. I definitely want to touch a little bit more. You said something uh, when it come in terms of the retro gaming portion. I want to
Hmm.
next episode. I want to dig a little deeper on that because I do want
Okay.
to talk about that. And you say you went through a retro gaming phase, and so
Yeah.
yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of a lot of shooters, like a lot of old Neo Geo shooters,
gotcha.
and I had a lot of fun with that time. And yeah, we can go into that.
Okay, cool, cool. All right. So we'll catch you all next Thursday, same time, 6:30, and look out for the archive of this by beginning of next week. All right. Have a good weekend, and if you haven't joined us on our Discord, just go to our website at dcgg.gg or dcgaminggroup.com. There's a link on the homepage. Also follow us on all of the socials at DC Gaming Group. And yeah, we hope to see you all at our next event and also see you all in our Discord. Until then, have a good evening and talk to you all later. Peace.
Peace.